how you're victimized. We have to make politicians be aware. It's we who paying them to run our fear. But when they get exposed, they never admit. They're always looking into it. Oh, you promise employment,
You lie,
and development,
you lie,
honest government.
You lie, you
Now
lie.
show me the betterment.
you lie.
This is no joke. Take back all your damn promises and give me back my vote. Give me back my vote.
Give me back my vote.
Give me back my vote.
Give me back my vote.
We trade a promise for a vote. You couldn't keep it. You killed my hope, so now I have to rock your vote. Give me back my vote.
Give me back my vote.
Give me back my vote.
Give me back my vote.
Die, 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 die. Damn it, die, die, die. Made us beg for a vote to serve us. Then they want to fool us and rule us and give secret deals to make your friends prosperous. We want ministers to walk in tongue, keep in touch with the common man, and remember who put him in his position. But you know, all they does is travel, spending and come back with nothing. They must deal prudently with the country's money. Whoa, that's responsibility and accountability. Next time you see election time coming, my contract will be ready and waiting. Then I won't have to put on no badge of ignorance when I vote again next time. Oh, you promise progress.
You lie.
No, we in a mess.
You lie.
Well, if that's your best,
You lie.
then I must confess.
You lie.
This is no joke. Take back all your damn promises and give me back my vote. Give me back my vote.
Give me back my vote.
Give me back my vote.
Give me back my vote.
We trade a promise for a vote. You couldn't keep it. You wrecked.
Welcome to the Late Night Show. Hope everything is okay. Hope everything is all right. I'm your host, Andrew Day. Okie dokie, kids. What's happening on the lovely island of St. Martin? Of course, Parliament has started finally after about 3 or 4 weeks of recess. The new audio system is in place, and you can see your parliamentarians in high definition. And I can say it was hilarious because it's your parliamentarians in high definition, but still the same quality of MPs. It's amazing. I just love it. Now, the Minister of Vromi, Egbert Duran, went and presented his spatial plan, all the plans that he has going because, it's an election year. So a lot of projects going to be, coming. But of course, he came with a whole plan and different members of parliament spoke. And believe it or not, there was one MP that spoke today that I have to highlight in the Late Night Show because he normally don't speak. He's a man of few words, and that is the one, the only MP Akeem Arrindell. He spoke in Parliament today, and it wasn't just good afternoon. It was like actual sentences, and he was reading on an iPad. And I was like, maybe he got an iPad from Samuel that he promised to the other teachers. I don't think so. I think he got an iPad from himself because we just pay him so much every month. But anyway, he was reading from an iPad, and he was asking questions to the minister concerning spatial planning. And I was like, does he know what spatial planning means? And it looked like he did because he was asking relevant questions. Let me give you the highlight of MP Akeem Arrindell speaking in Parliament today.
Minister, in your public release in the country worldwide spatial development strategy, 2030, you made a mention of we having taller buildings because we haven't make more space for that. We have indeed noticed the new development and construction in several high-rise buildings, mostly in the Kupakoi area. They are attracting a high-end visitors, again, to St. Martin. My question is the following. Recently, in the new large, rise, luxurious project, Aqua Resort. Can you give a more insight on the development on the stages, if possible? Also, will there be continued access to the Kupapoy Beach, taken to the zoning, planning into consideration? And are there any pending requests for construction for more high-rise building? If yes, how many are pending? And in what areas are the requests? Also, I noticed that in the feed, we also were saying about we live in a hurricane disaster zone area, taken to the hurricanes we have in the past for several hurricanes. My question is, what is the government primary principle, rules and steps for the upcoming year in place, taking place for these new development for houses, for the new development for hurricanes?
Now, one of the most interesting things that happened in Parliament today is MP William Marlin resting his head downward for a couple of minutes or hours, but for a long period of time. And I don't know if you're watching a meeting and you're seeing somebody like this the whole time. Does it look like I'm sleeping, or does it look like I'm in my phone? Because if you're in your phone, obviously you're going to put your phone on a table. Or maybe you won't want nobody to know that you're talking, so you just like this the whole time. You see in the video? And you're seeing the time just passing, people talking, and you're seeing the whole time the MP just, the only thing that's missing is National is going. Like, I swear, I thought it was, but he wasn't sleeping. He was just focusing. He was focusing on what was happening in the meeting. Another good highlight of the meeting was the outfit from Auntie Sarah. Jesus, Wakanda forever. You see that? Looking good. My gosh. When I saw it, I was like, hello, Auntie Sarah getting ready for her Congress. Shucks. No, serious. That outfit, yes. If I was the fashion police, I would give it 3 snaps. Okay. Otherwise to that, the audio and video quality of the meetings have improved. And today, you can see that it's still a work in progress. Check out Auntie Sarah when she was trying to talk during the notification round.
I too want to add words of commendation to the Secretariat of Parliament. I know it was a race against the clock, so to speak, to get the equipment at least to the point where it can be utilized, and that is today, as the previous speaker indicated. It is in process. It's a work in process. The reason I'm stalling is that I'm sure that those behind the booth are trying to get the volume of my voice. Yes, so that's why I was also stalling. But Mr. Chairman, so congratulations to our secretariat. I recognize it was a race against the clock to get us going here in Parliament.
Our opinion is that, yes, you don't want to just only become a high-rise country, but I do believe there's room for more. It is efficient use of land, it can be attractive, it can be inexpensive compared to building, let's say, just a 2-story building on 500 square meters, as opposed to going up. That lowers the overall cost per square meter of the developer. So the minister's comments on that as well. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
At least it's a work in process. It's a process. It's happening. It's going to continue. It's a continuation. Yeah, I know. All right, the Council of Ministers press briefing took place today, and only 3 ministers showed up. We had Minister of Health, the Minister of Everything, and that is, of course, Omar Otley. We had the new minister, the Minister of Gas Prices Gone Up, Leo Lambrix, and of course we have the Honorable Prime Minister Severia Jacobs, who's still trying to keep the ship together from sinking. Now, missing was, of course, obvious, the 2 ministers that are in the hot seat, which is the Minister of Nothing, Minister Rudolph Samuel, and also the Minister of Justice, and that is, of course, Anna Richardson. I think I need to file a police report and put missing persons for the Minister of Justice, because I haven't seen her for a while. She hasn't come to the last press briefing, and she didn't come to the one today. So I'm going to call Josefa, the inspector, later today, and I'm going to file a missing persons, because maybe she's lost and she forgot where her office is, so that she could pay the workers their money. Of course, the inmates continue to strike. And of course, we like to go from topic to topic here in St. Martin, and we forget that people are actually striking right now at the Point Blanche prison. And this is maybe the 11th, 12th, 13th day that is going on. And they are continuing to strike. And what is the Ministry of Justice doing about it? I ask the Honorable Prime Minister to answer on behalf of the Minister of Justice. And of course, this is what I was told.
Unfortunately, I don't have an update on the situation at the prison, but I will look into it and ensure that a written statement is sent out.
Yes. And of course, electoral reform is on our minds. Will we be allowed to walk with cameras or with our phones inside of the booths? Will the black curtain be behind us? Yes or no? That is a question that many people are asking, especially those who like to sell their votes. But in any case, there are some, the PM said small changes that might come for the next elections, but she wants to have a town hall meeting so that she can hear everybody's, feelings concerning it. But there are some small changes. And I know that if the PM says small, they probably are going to be big changes. So I can't wait to see. But she said this concerning electoral reform during the Council of Ministers press briefing.
As it regards electoral reform,
Yes.
Indeed, with just a year to go, we're looking at what the country still needs to do. There are small changes that have been proposed that may be feasible prior to the election, so we're focusing, of course, on those, but we don't want to be dictating. That's why we're having the town hall meetings to share information, share insights from various other stakeholders, because even if we don't get a change for the next election, we need to get the ball rolling to make structural changes, if possible, that can bring the necessary changes. And there was already a change being worked on that isn't finalized, and so that needs to be finalized as well. So I'll give more information as we get closer to the town hall meetings.
Okay, thank you. And of course, the new campaign manager for the Prime Minister of St. Martin is Mr. Brown. I must say, during the Council of Ministers press briefing, when he started off, it was supposed to be a question, and then he gave a whole speech about how great the Prime Minister is. I said, okay, well, he is there trying to become the campaign manager for the Prime Minister. So Mr. Brown for campaign manager for the Prime Minister of St. Martin, I think it goes hand in hand. Both of them are so competent, so they would be a perfect fit. Yes, a perfect fit. But this is what happened during the press briefing.
This question is between the Prime Minister and Minister Otley. Minister Otley, maybe after the Prime Minister, you can comment on the legalization of marijuana. But what I want to engage with the Prime Minister in education, in the aspect of education. The Minister of Education is not here today, but what I want to emphasize on, the Prime Minister went abroad and studied. And the ability, the Prime Minister is supposed to be applauded. The way the Prime Minister speaks overseas in conference or presentation, it is so accurate. And I really impressed. I'm not saying this because, but it's a reality. And what I want, let me say that, Minister Otley, we need to shoot down this negativity that a lot of people are getting scholarship and go abroad and study, and there's this negativity, oh, I'm not coming back home because there's nothing here for us. So I need the Prime Minister to just clear the way, because the Prime Minister went away and she studied, and now she is a Prime Minister and also an educator. And I'm proud of her performance.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. I believe the Minister of VSR, the Ministry of VSR, the Ministry of Education, all relevant ministries that have to do with ensuring that we have good preparation via education to connect to our labor market. We're working towards that. I know there are several studies being conducted to ensure that we have that better match. But of course, I'd like to take this opportunity to encourage all our students out there studying abroad, as well as those that have finalized their studies and are looking for opportunities to seek them here at home. Not only have I gone out and studied, our ministers, several of our ministers have as well, most of them have. We have hosting this press briefing, another local that has returned, several of them behind the cameras, wherever they may be in this room, those who are working throughout government's building, throughout the government-owned companies, throughout the high councils. All of the advisors to the high councils are, for the most part, St. Martiners who've gone abroad and studied or stayed at home and studied, because that option also exists today, that you can stay at home and study. The Minister of Finance, in the middle of the pandemic, made it possible for us, all of us, to follow Coursera courses for free. So government paid it so that others could enjoy the opportunity to educate themselves. And I'm hoping that, especially having gone through the pandemic, that more of us are motivated to follow our dreams. Some of us that were laid off, some of us were paid out, others not, and had to go on government assistance. But most have come off of that, have found a new way forward. A lot have put forward opportunities to be able to get the financing available in our ESP program, as well as the training that the Ministry of VSR is giving to entrepreneurs who want to step out and are a little bit unsure about the budgeting and all of the background administrative work and that is involved in running your own business. So I have been constantly encouraging the people of St. Martin, whether here or abroad, to follow your dreams. But I am praying and hoping that all the technical assistance that we need, that a vast majority will be St. Martiners or people with St. Martin roots that want to come, that belong here, that would want to come home. And I'd like to continue to promote lifelong learning as a part of who we are as St. Martin people. We're never too old to learn, and we're never too young to be a part of the change that we need here on St. Martin. Thank you for the opportunity to make those statements. I don't know if the Minister of VSI would like to add.
Thank you. Definitely, Prime Minister, I agree with you wholeheartedly. This is part of our discussions that we have had when it comes to slavery. It's not just about the money and reparations. It's about helping us to increase our educational level, helping us to increase our judicial system and not do it with commands and do it with conditions. That's part of us being reparated, getting reparations. It's not only about money, it's about building our structure, our labor market, creating jobs. Show us the way to do it. That's what it's about, and that's what we should look for to be fully liberated. As far as the cannabis, as you know, we did the RFP when it pertains to cannabis. We're in that process now to review the legislation, review the pros and cons within the industry. I would just like to give a few statistics based on Antigua and Barbuda. It's estimated that by 2028, the medicinal marijuana revenue will increase to 49 million in 2028, as opposed to 8.9 million in 2020 that was invested. So we have to look for additional streams of revenue. It is the reality of the world. If we look at America, other parts of the world, the Netherlands, they all benefit from the use of recreational or medicinal marijuana. So we will do the RFP, we will do our research, we will have engaged with all stakeholders, school, churches, shelters, government officials. Our team will be involved, and we will make the best decision for the country. But I am interested in increasing our streams of revenue. It's no secret that we need it.
Okay, last but not least, the hospital is kind of sort of being worked on, and we have kind of sort of fixed the situation, but we are working on fixing it soon. So it's going to start back going faster soon, but it's still being worked on, but it's going to continue. Confused? So was I when Minister of Everything answered my question concerning the progress of the St. Martin General Hospital.
As far as the hospital, I'm happy that you asked about it. There were a number of factors that are slowly being resolved. As a matter of fact, the reason I was late here because I was in a meeting with the management of FinZo. We have installed a rapid permit procedure for both the airport, hospitals, and major projects to help push along the construction. But personally, I can say here, I informed FinZo that unlike the airport, who has maximized the ability or maximize the potential of hiring locally, I did not receive that from FinZo. So I'll notify them that I think I need more effort, and until they maximize the possibility of hiring more locals, then we will continue with the RPP, rapid permit process. As far as it goes, there were some financial issues, of course. The letter of intent was signed, but now we have all lenders on board that has agreed to the additional amount. This is great news. I spoke to the board of SMMC, who reviewed the latest structure, and FinZo has now confirmed that they received the latest structure of the contract to re-sign, and it will be done shortly. They are in the finalization stage. They have informed me that in the meeting recently, so you get an exclusive, that once this contract is indeed signed, the intention is to move full steam ahead. So I'm happy to announce that we are in that progress. And as far as it goes with local workers, we will see more job fairs in the future.
So what did we learn today, kids? Absolutely nothing. Welcome to the Late Night Show. We have a good one for you. Let's begin.
The girl them taking back shots. I said the girl them like their back shots. You don't know this about Chubby, and I'm here to endorse the thing called Outside Again in St. Martin this coming February the 25th. So here what? Get your tickets because Collision Man will be coming to you to rock you and jam you in St. Martin. You don't know, enough DJs gonna be there, Grandmasters, skillful band, and you don't know the Teflon band's gonna be in the building to rock you. So get your tickets, come on out, Sink It's Massive, I'm looking for you, Anguilla Massive. You don't know, ride it, bounce on it, y'all. Let me see you bounce on it, y'all. We ramping hard. Get your rags and get your flags and come in at the band. You don't know. See you guys in St. Martin on the 25th, Moonlight Bar with it. So what?